All right, let's begin. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Symposium Mindful Joint 2022. The title of this symposium is called Exploring History and Identity, Contemporary Media Art from Korea. And this is our third session. And we have incredible video and animation artist, Rok Choi. How do you prefer to pronounce your last name?
Choi is better, but Choi is okay.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever is okay.
Yeah, he's the. I mean, you've got my the PDF. Is one of the most important artists, and let's say and before I introduce Rok Choi, my name is Jae Lee. I'm an assistant professor of new media art here at Northern Arizona University. Also, we have Professor Kate Byun, who is the co-organizers. Please say hi, Kate.
Hi. Thanks for coming.
All right. This symposium is made possible by generous support from the Northeast Asia Council Korean Studies Grant with the support of Korean foundations at the Association of Asian Studies and also School of Art at Northern Arizona University. And thank you very much. All right, Rok Choi is actually born in South Korea. He studied. He's been making a lot of video and digital art, and he's been showing showing his work in the major museums and festivals in Korea and around the world. And also he actually studied at Carnegie Mellon, which that's the I also came from Carnegie Mellon, where that's what how I get to know him. But we didn't have any when he graduated, I just joined the program. So, but that's how we met for the first time. I mean, we met previously, but that's how we get together closer. But obviously, he became one of the most leading artists in Korea, and I'm so excited to have him today. All right, without further ado, let's begin with the Rok Choi. Please welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jae. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Good evening, Arizona State, and good morning in South Korea. I'm very happy to talk about my work today, especially Jae invited me and with many great artists in Korea also. Today I'm going to talk about my animation because I started with the making installation and kinetic kind of a mechanical installation stuff. It's early 2000, just like after I began my my artistic career. I've been making digital animation for like 15 years. It every time I make my animation, it feels it's kind of a magical and mechanic elements in when I make animation. So the title of today's my talk is magic and mechanics. So when you study animation, you have to know about how animation techniques started, and you have to study about the film and there's just mechanical elements, and also it has some magical elements, because it's only when you are looking up the history of a film and animation, you can see that many magicians they use projection techniques when they are doing some magical performance. That's one of I got started some interest of using animation. So I'm gonna show and talk about my my major animation that I'm working on in 5 years, I think. Yeah, this is the image that I made for my solo exhibition, which is now showing on the state of university, Amelie A. Wallace Gallery in Long Island. So if you live in Long Island, I hope you can visit there, see my solo exhibition. I'm showing 6 major work I'm showing there. So today this is a list of my work to talk about today. I studied 2006. At the time, there was my first solo exhibition in Seoul. I studied painting in Hong-Ik University. So I got in the Hong-Ik University in 1997. I graduated 2004. So 2 years after I graduated, I started making some media installation, mixed media. So I made some kinetic installation, and then I moved to States. So I studied my M.F.A. in Carnegie Mellon University, and I graduated. I came back to Seoul and started making digital animations and video. So this is the list of the work I'm going to show today. So I think that most of you haven't seen my work. So I'm going to show my animations, and then maybe I can talk while I can play animation and talk, or after I showed my work. So this is in 2006, when I had my first solo exhibition in Seoul. It was 2006. At the time, the media art scene in Seoul is not. They start making, many artists. They start making some kind of a kinetic and media art, and there are many artists who make video arts and kinetic. So I was interested in making kinetic and video and animation. So I made this machine. I called the Rok Choi project. So I made this machine, and I put the projector inside the machine, and it has a function that moving around on the gallery space and projecting or video and animation on the ceiling. So it's moving around. So I used the microcontroller and motors, and it's moving around this gallery. So the basic idea was I was so interested in using scientific exploration by NASA. So at the time, the NASA they sent us to roving machine to the Mars to do their scientific exploration on the Mars. So the whole process of what they are doing was so interesting to me, and it's, to me, it's so fantasy and so intriguing to me that how they made the machine and doing experiments, and then how the machine. This is actually a picture of the robot machine from Mars. So I was just so interested in how the machine took a picture and sent to Earth, and it's the whole images and machines. To me, is so intriguing, and make it inspire me to do my own scientific explorations as my artist practice, and I did paintings. This is the scene that when NASA sent to a machine, and then they have to send to Mars. So they made those big black balloons. So they put their machine inside the black balloon, and then that's just throwing out on the surface of Mars. So the whole scene was so interesting to me and so science fictional. So I made my own project. and making video and animation, and then project this video and animation on the ceiling. So at the time, I was also interested in computer game culture, and I also I'm very serious gamer. So at the time I played World of Warcraft. You might have heard or played before. So I played like 10 hours, 14 hours a day to get better items. So that's the first experience. That's the first my virtual experience that I spent many times in virtual, and I also spent my time in actual. So that's the first I got interested in two world, and actual and virtual. So I think that this project is so interesting, important to me to work and to think about art and science, technology and game culture, and also so many digital technology cultures. At the time, we didn't have a open source culture at the time, 2006. So we didn't have a Arduino and or processing kind of a program. So if you want to make something, then move. If you want to use the motors and making moves, you have to find someone who can program. It's like a computer science, the guy. So now so even if you're an artist, you can find any stuff in internet or just buying microcontroller Arduino from Amazon. So it's very easy to me right now, but at the time was so hard. So that's one of the reasons that I decided to go Carnegie Mellon University. So they are great people who can mix with art and science and art and technology. You can make anything you want. So the culture, the digital culture in States was so interesting to me. That's one of the reasons I went to States, and I went to Carnegie Mellon University. So I made this kind of stuff. It was fun. It's kind of making props, and it has a function that send the video, and I can see the video. Then I made some kind of a pseudo like a scientific kind of a instrument, kind of a installation that it has some kind of a conceptual scientific exploration. I think it was 2007. Then while I was in Carnegie Mellon University, I made many digital animation installation, and I studied history, and I also interesting following the history of digital technology, like a drone and robot. And so after I finished my M.F.A, and then I came back to Seoul, I started to make a show and work, and I had a solo show 2015 in Gallery Joseon, Seoul. So I got the fund from the Seoul Museum of Art Emerging Artist Support Program 2015. So I had a chance to make my solo show. So at the time, I was interested in history of a drone, and how you can use you can just buy your drone and just make it so you can see that many other perspective that you haven't seen before, or you can just see it from the satellite or like a military drones footage. Now you can buy your drone. So at the time, the DJI, which is one of the biggest drone company. It's just like an Apple company. So I bought a drone, the Phantom. So I started to make some video and animation based on drone perspective. So I made three or four. One is the scroll down journey. This is the digital animation. I collect images from drones and satellite imagery. Basically, I want to make some kind of a endless landscape of the cities, and I collect images from my personal memories, and I did some objects and some kind of happening inside the scene. And I also made the video using by a drone. I hope you can read it. And then I show it a bit my animation. Okay, then I show my animation. Let me see. So the most of my animation 6 minutes, I think. Let me see. And Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, this feels like we are doing like a screening, but I think that this work is very important to me, so I just watch this whole through. Let me see. Yeah. So basically, I collect images from satellites and drone. So I collect that combines each element of a series. So the how the series developed. So it starts with nothing, and then you can see like a very trees and mountains, and you can so these cars go through the tunnel, and you can see the many cityscape kind of things. Actually, it's based on Seoul. So I research and collect images from the satellite image of Seoul. So I combine together. You can see like a Han River and you can see like developing and demolition happening in the old town, and you can see like many apartments and buildings and all kinds of stuff. And I put some animating object and happening based on my memories, and we can also I wanted to put some kind of events that happened in 2015, and at the time we had a tragic accident, the Seoul ferry. So you can see the Seoul ferry is crossing the river. So I wanted to mix our memories and my personal memories. And yeah, so I want to make some kind of city pop like a sound also. And if I talk about the sound aspect, I work since that the point I started work with the electronic musician. And now I'm still working with him. I can talk about the weather. Yeah, this is the digital painting I used. So I did the digital painting in Photoshop. It has this kind of setup. It has a 8 set. So each is each image is one file. So I did the digital painting in Photoshop, and then I put into the effect and then make it one long scene. So it didn't have any cut. You can just watching the whole through without any cut. So it's one sequence, but it has many stories in it. And I also made the drone video. So it's called A Man with a Flying Camera. If you study the history of film, there's a famous historical film about a man with a camera. She's one of the important film. So I used the term and idea that what if we have a different camera, the different concept of camera that fly, and then you can see your own perspective using a drone. So you can see many kind of perspective from drone. So I made a kind of drone selfie. So I just move around near around the Seoul, because in Seoul you can film the drone inside the city. So I just move around the Seoul. I'm going to show you this video a little bit. No sound. So the title of my solo exhibition was the height of Phantom. So the Phantom is the name of the drone I used. Was made by a DJI company. I told you. So to me, is the view from drone is kind of Phantom. We cannot see drones. You cannot see the actual drone in the sky, because I filmed this. When I filmed this scene, the height of like a 100 meter or 150 meters from the sky. So I found a very interesting scene that this place just like a empty yard just around the Seoul. So it took the time that the interesting scene sometimes it's more like abstract. It feels sometimes it's very unrealistic to me. So it's just like a painting, I think. So also this is a kind of selfie. So I just move around alone. Nobody was there. I was just only one, and then I took my drone and make it stay on the sky and just to walk around this scene. Recently, I went to this place, and this place they already built up buildings and some kind of a huge shopping mall. This is near Ilsan, Goyang City. So at the time, there are many empty places. So when I filmed this, so I feel like I was a kind of a gamer or a player inside like a virtual environment, but it's actual. So I try to just like a movie or just like a character inside the game. Just like so when you play the computer game, you have to you have to get through each stage, each landscape. So you have a different feeling, and you are watching different landscapes. So I wanted to make it some kind of a computer game experience. and also it's interesting to find some unexpected scene. So when I show this piece, some people ask me that whether this is a graphics, like a 3D animation, but because at the time that the people didn't realize that how the drone can film this kind of very stable scene, like a 3D animation. This is an artificial, like a water fountain, like a park. But at the time, it was summer. It was a newly built, like a new city. So nobody was there. So I just filmed. I just kind of flying by myself. And I found some interesting that when they built a new city and new park and how they design this kind of a shape, they sometimes unorganized and sometimes it's very very Koreanish, like a design stuff. This is the last scene. So I put my drone on the sky. I was waiting to cross this bridge, and then two women, they have umbrella. It's very unexpected scene. So I just leave it and then make it one part of my work. And it looks like I designed this scene, but it's unexpected. It's very coincidentally they are moving each other. So even if it's real, but if you see in the screens, it feels very unrealistic. It's just like a 3D object is working in the virtual, like a landscape. It's one of the I'm interesting. And so when I show this piece, I made this kind of a screen panel as an installation. And then in 2016, I had a chance to participate in Busan Biennial 2016. So I want to show I want to remake one of my animation that I did when I was in Carnegie Mellon University. There was it was my one of my animation when I did my thesis show. It's called Operation Mole, and this is based on the history of North Korea and South Korea at 1970 and 80s. We had this very cold war situation, and So I wanted to mix up some history of North and South and historical events, and also based on the histories, I want to mix up some science fictional uh, stories that I made. The basic idea subject was you can see the on ground and underground, and there are many events that are happening same time. So the eventually so it's explored everything by our mutants made by this secret bunker. The scientists, they are making mutants, and it's destroying everything. I'm gonna show a little bit. The piece is 8 minutes long. So we I think maybe I can show a little bit, and let me see. I'd rather show the rather piece that I made more sequence, and actually I did this piece. I complete this series, Operation More series, 2018. Yeah, I'd rather show this complete version of this animation. So I started this piece 2012, and then I remade this piece 2016 for Busan Biennial, and then I finished this series 2018 when I had another solo exhibition in Sema Bunker in Seoul. So the main story is that there is a driver who drives the machine. You can see the machine is being made in kind of factory. So the story starts with the machines is being made, and then also driver is also kind of a cyborg robots, and then they are built in this factory, and then start the journey through the underground, and then through the journey, the driver watching many kind of events that happening on the ground is based on the historical event, and then monster was made by a scientist, and then monster. So this machine is chasing the monster. The monster like just destroying everything and destroys everything in the city, in the fire. So I also use the Photoshop and just put into the After Effects. Okay, I skip a little bit because this is a 17 minutes long. So okay, let me skip. So this is the inside of the machine. So I made a 4 view of the machine, so you can see the front view and the inside the machine view, and the driver is watching many monitors inside the machine, what's happening outside the world, and then so you can see from the distance on the ground and on the ground. So it's lots of happening. So I referencing that's many historical events and building and some scientific failures. There's a conflict. So this building is a U.S. Embassy building in Seoul. So every time I see this building, I felt like something secret events happening inside the building. So I used that some kind of a very secret look. So on the ground, they are doing some scientific exploration, experiment. And then on the right side, you can see the missile is being made, is underground tunnel. So every the object and scenes, they are connect each other later. Let me skip a little bit. So they are doing some experiment, like a human experiment. So the experiment failed. You can see like a monster in here. And then this machine is actually it's excavating machine that when they are mining and the mineral kind of stuff, they made this. Actually, there's a machine that looks like this, and a very huge machine that is excavating a mineral. And then I took this design to human excavation. So the human and the pigs, they are going to this machine, and then it makes like a blood, like a fuel, and the fuel is go like here, and then eventually it used for the fuel for this missile. Okay, let me skip a little bit. And yeah, then happening here. And the monster excavating and trying to destroying every stop on the ground. And then the fuel goes to missile. Okay, let me skip a little bit. And then you can see like a two different like a military post that I referencing. This is the design of the South Korean Army post, and this is the North Korean Army post. They looks different, but to me it's very interesting. It's contrast in their colors and design. So it's destruction is happening, and the monster is like doing an evolution and making different shape. And oh, let me see. And then destroying whole stuff. So the monster is the only survivor after this bomb, and then it goes to different sequence. So the monster is in Seoul. So the monster is just firing and destroying the city, and then the machine is keep following monster. So from at this sequence, I want to make some kind of a music video. So I asked my friend who has a band, rock band. So he made the music. It's like it's kind of it's like a music video. This is the actual landscape of the where I live right now. This is like a river like a park. So also every day I went there. So they keep following and destroying like every a part of the city, like a fire. It's like a normal landscape of the city. They are building new apartments. And then now is the center of the Seoul, very historical place. They're bowing everything. So one of the greatest king of the Korea. Yeah, so this piece is consists of three parts, 2012 and 16 and 18, and sound by Yuan Electric Bulb, who many made my music and sound for my work. Okay. Then I got luckily selected by the VH Award, which is the media artist support program by Hyundai Motor Group. Now Hyundai Motor Group is one of the biggest company who support media art and contemporary art also all around the world. So I had a chance to make a very massive size of the digital animation. So I made a 16K digital video and 2D and 3D animation piece in 2017. This is the actual screens of the one of the building of the Hyundai Motor Group located in Yongin. So this piece called a scroll and sight. For this piece, I used the drone video and 2D animation and 3D animation. Each sequence has different perspective. So I want to make it some mixed story from different perspectives. I filmed drones and I composite drone scenes. So one guy is strolling and walking, and then he's doing some kind of a journey, and then we are watching by 3 perspective, drone and 2D and 3D. So this is the last scene that you can see like as a first person view. And at the time, it's kind of interesting to work with this company and doing some commission work. This plate was so big and almost like a 20 meter and 30 meter. They called this is one of the biggest video war in Asia. And then they had a 60 channels. They put like a sound on the 60 speakers in the place. So I had a chance to make a very surround sound work. And then the part of the VH award, they gave me a chance to visit Ars Electronica Festival, and also I stayed a month at the Ars Electronica Center. So I also had a chance to show my video at the Ars Electronica Center. They have a 8K projection space inside the center. They call the deep space 8K. So I remade for the 8K version of the for floor and wall projection. So it's another interesting experience that you can see that the viewer can see the inside the screen. Now we call like an immersive space, like a projection space, and now they're still making very interesting stuff. It's very high resolution. They are trying to make it more interactive right now. So if you're interested in making interactive installation or projection work, if you visit their website, and they also have like a called Future App. It's one of their very new. They're every year they invite media artists to make it happening, and very interesting. It's happening in the Ars Electronica Center. Okay, and okay, this is exploration. Yeah, so basically I want to make it 3 perspective. It seems like a God's views and gamer, or you can be like a first person view. So it's like when you inside the VR, or this is combining like a 3 perspective. So we saw this piece. So when I installed the 4 projectors, and then I made a long screen. Let me skip this one. And 2019, I had another solo exhibition in Gallery Joseon in Seoul. I made another digital animation. The title is Great Channel Being. It's basically I was interested in the concept of creation and concept of the process of how we make at this point, how we try to make everything by technology. So there's many scientists and many digital technology company. They are trying to make everything by 3D printing, and they are trying to make a very artificial element. So I was interested in the how this world is being made by new technology and new concept of thinking. So I researched about all like a historical thinking about how this world, how with many philosophers they are trying to understand how this world is construct. So I found this drawing, which was made 1579. They already have this kind of drawing, interesting drawing. So I was very into it, this drawing and how they construct. So at the time the god was on the top, angels, demons, man, woman, animal, plant, mineral, and then I wanted to make it the contemporary version of this idea. So now we have robots and AI. So it's a very important aspect of our life. But even though we can actually see what's happening, but you got affected by many many things. So I made this work based on this idea and this concept. So I want to make it some contemporary version of the hierarchy of this world. So I also referencing the middle centuries, like panel paintings that each panel has a different story, but it make one whole story. So I install this kind of setup. I'm going to show you a little bit. Speed this animation. let me skip a little bit because I have many animation to show. So basically, it's happening inside of like a computer system. You watch it's like a computer is booting the system. So the system is just start running, and then you start to make it every element. Let me skip a little bit. So this guy is making electricity to run this whole system. And this is like a 3D printing kind of a system that make those elements for each section. So the bottom is for dinosaur. Very prehistory scene. So it goes each section and dinosaur and fishes and bird and mammals and human. Let me skip a little bit. So they are doing their own things inside the section. They are to do some kind of circles and they are doing this kind of a happening. This dinosaur like capture the chicken, the hens, and it's happening many times. And then during the process of making the monster is being made, it's kind of an error, kind of virus, and then destroying the system. So the system trying to protect this whole system. So the system is making robots. So after they finish their life in the section, the system is make this element to as their fuel. So I want to make it some kind of recycling and creations and spend life and spend their functions, and then after their life it goes the fuel for this whole system. Let me skip a little bit. And okay, there's fire, and then robot is being made. And for this scene, I want to make it some kind of a better, like a computer game, like a Tekken or many other like a computer battling game. So the robot and monster they are trying to they are like battling each other, and then this kind of music is just playing. A little bit. They are fighting and so closing the system, and then monster is going back to where he or she was born. Okay, and this is the installation view when I install. And we have a pandemic. We have the COVID, and after we have COVID, there's like every museum and gallery in the world, they are closing down and open again and closing down, opening again, and then many artists and their curators, they are trying to show their work outside place. So I had a chance to show my work. So there's a Paradise City Resort in Incheon, and the Paradise Group is one of the biggest casino and hotel company in South Korea. They support the media artists every year. They have called a Paradise Art Lab. So I was luckily selected one of the artists, and I show this media facade piece based on the animation we just watched. So I want to expand some kind of circles because this place is like a casino and hotel place. So, and then the viewer can watch the outside. So I want to make it bigger and more like a circles, and I also work with the performers group, the band Bauer, and as like a mixed style of the, maybe it can be media facade or it can be right ones. I did the right ones at that there. So there's many people, they are watching outside, and then with the media facade. The interesting is this is like a permanent like a projection system. So they put like 8 projectors, and here and here, and then this is like a permanent. So you can like a projection every time, every every hour. So the projection is very high quality, and then the resolution is a 6K. So I have to remake, like I have to develop the animation you just watched, and it was very challenging and very interesting to me. Making really big, massive screens, very high quality and very vivid color, because they put very expensive projectors. So each projector is like a I think the 100,000. I think one projector each. So I work with the band Bauer. They are like a performing group. They also work each as an individual artist. So they playing like instruments during the like a media facade. And then I also show this piece inside the Paradise Art Space in the resort place. The actual building was looks like this. It's designed by MVRDB, which is one of the like a famous like a architecture design group. Oh, let me see. So I'm gonna show the animation a little bit, because I think let's see. This is our actual view. And the sound and system is also really great. It's like an outdoor, like a theater. So the whole design is based on this building. So it has like this kind of like a very organic shape. So I made this kind of chamber. So the basic structure is just kind of same. Making every stop inside like a 3D printing machine, and then goes into the each section, and then goes to the experimental chamber. It's like an aquarium, and then it's sometimes it makes a fear, and it makes her like a monster, like a mutant. So the whole length is like a 70 meter, I think. Let me skip a little bit. So yes. It was a really great experience to me. Like personally, this is like the biggest piece I ever did. So after I did this piece, like every piece is not not big enough. I think they are doing another festival coming May. I think if you're in Seoul, you can visit there, and they're doing very interesting festival. And this is the guy who made my sound. Yuan Electric Bach is basically he is making sampling music and mashup, doing many DJ music, and very interesting guy. Yuan Electric Bach. Okay, so I did another piece. Inspired.
1 second. So we have a
How many?
yes,
How much time we have?
30 minutes left. That includes
Okay.
Q&A. So please take that in mind. Thank you.
Okay, let me skip this one. So I'm gonna just explain this piece and then go to last. Okay. Yeah. But basically, you can watch my animation in my website. I'm gonna let you know my website when, and then I made this you might have seen this robot dog, and I made another animation doing very unnecessary movements that totally not relate to actual performance. They are doing like a yoga kind of stuff. Okay. And I'm gonna go to last piece. So this is the latest piece I did last year. I did a commission piece by Asian Culture Center, which is one of the biggest art institution in South Korea, in Gwangju. They want to make a outdoor show. So they did very massive media facade system they installed. So I want to make it more like a whimsical, fantastical, like a Disney animation, just like a Fantasia animation that it has many natural elements inside this animation. So I want to make it more friendly to people, so everyone can watch it, and no blood and no dead body and no monster. It's very very friendly scene of the so the title is the Genesis Canyon. Basically, I wanted to make it like a mythological happening in the area. So they install like a almost like a 20 projectors outside. It's permanent. So I made a piece for the area, and then the area. This is like a pro projection. I think you can see like many projectors. And the show is Light Pools curated by Kim Oh-E. She's a senior curator. So the not only media facade, there are also like a outdoor installation, like a Shinmi-gyeong, also installed like a very interesting sculpture made by SOP. So this is like actual view. It's very just like any you can see like just like a building and wall, and then they wanted to make it more like accessible to people. They wanted to bring more people to the place, so I want to make it really colorful. This is the actual like a scale of the 3D model of the space. So I made a 3D environment and 3D landscape based on the actual site. And this is the first piece I did with the 3D animation, because most of the work I did 2D animation. So, but this is the first 3D animation I did. So for this work, this is actually like a view. For this work, I used the 3D simulation like a program, which called Flip Fluid. It's basically you can simulate like a natural phenomena like a water or like a lava like this. So you have to put every parameter and kind of expect. So you have to like simulate this kind of a movement. So I want like a dancing robots and very okay, this is another view. It's like a 130 yards long, the whole area. This happened last fall, like from September to December. So like lava is keep flowing down to the here. Like this is another scene of the water. I want to make it very fantastical fountain, the water, the waterfall, and butterfly like flying. I want to make it. They're trying to like hang out outside place. Let me see. This is the work is consists of the floor and wall. It has like a 3 sequence. And now my solo exhibition happening in SUNY Old Westbury campus right now. So it's created by Hyundai, and this show is funded by a Fund for Korean Art Abroad. So it's a part of the Ministry of the Culture and Sports in South Korea government, and it's happening right now. If you're in Long Island, New York, I hope to visit. So I'm showing like most of my major work. So I stayed 3 weeks. In February, I had a really fun time, and I met many old people there. It's still running. If you have a chance, please visit. And yes, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a long lecture. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoy my animation. Do you have a Q&A?
Okay, so we only have a couple of minutes left, but do we have any questions so far in class or online? If you have a question online, you can leave your question on the chat or raise your hand in here. Do you have any question in here in classroom so far? So okay, yeah, you might come closer and speak louder.
you just relay?
I mean, you can come closer to yeah, if you don't mind. So Samir here.
What's the most interesting thing you found from your drone footage that you didn't know was there?
Oh, okay. So basically you can fly your drone everywhere because the near the Seoul there are many military places. So you're not allowed to fly your drone near the military post. So I have to let me see. I have to check the map that not near the military post. So let me show you the. Okay, let me back to the slide. It's my drone. Let me see. I think this scene is very interesting to me because it's you cannot see the ground this design, so you can only see this design from the sky, and then the water is not thing that I didn't expect it. So when I crossed this like a water fountain was kind of fun, like a kind of like a playing inside the game, I think. And then while I shooting this scene, then there's raining, so you can see like a raindrops from the scene. This is one of the interesting moment when I film this footage, I think. Yeah.
Actually, we have one question on the chat. It's a long. Do you think you can open the chat and read?
Okay. Let me see.
Amy Kim.
Okay. Do you write script or have concept drawing before creating video work? So yeah, I basically write, and then it's like when you start making animation, it's like playing a game, and this is one of the interesting process that I experienced. That why every time I make each like element, it has a logic. So if you start something, you have to finish. So you have to make a connect. So each time you have to so when I work in After Effects, it's not it's impossible to make a start and end. You have to like keep developing the stories while you are doing animating in After Effects. So it's like a half and half. You have to like big pictures and big stories. Then you have to make it each element's movements while you are working in After Effects. And sound effect. Okay, the first question was the I think I answered. Okay, the sound. For sound, I think it's very lucky to meet the Johann Electric Bach. And I think that he's a very genius musician. And every time I show my animation, he's showing us very very combined, very well made, where stick my work. I mean, we have like a sharing like a sense, because I think that we had the same generation. We experienced the computer game and digital culture and indie culture during the early 2000s, I think. And then for video element, you draw each of them, keep animation. Most of work, so you can think that the every movement, every object that move, so it has each layers. the last animation I show not 3D. So the gray channel being is like almost like 500 layers. So each layer has each layer in Photoshop. So I complete every layer in Photoshop. I move into the whole Photoshop file into After Effects and then make it move. Okay.
We have I think this could be the one last question because due to the time limit we have. So we have a question from Yeonju. Can you read and respond to her?
Okay. Let me see. As I could observe from your early works, they are similar to technology consider the original machine representation of your body. Machine I think the let me see. Simply machine tool that lets you execute vision extent. I think the latter is more makes sense that the way I use the machine is extend your vision and so extend your so it break your limitation of the when you film something and it extend your perspective. I think so it gives more narrative. I think when you work with a machine or tool, I think. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, please. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful video. It's really inspiring, and yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for joining us today, and I wish you have a great night today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I had fun to talk about my work. I hope you have a great day, and thank you.
All right. Have a good morning there. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show my website. Okay, and if you're interested, you can visit my website and what's going on, and you can see that what I'm gonna show for the future. You can see like other works that I did.
All right.
So much. Thank you
So much.
Thank you.